The sun rises. 72 minutes later, it sets. Earth now spins 10 times faster, and a full day lasts 2.4 hours. Step on a bathroom scale at the equator, and a third of your weight is gone. 150 pounds reads about 100. Nothing hit the planet, nothing exploded. The ground simply moves 10 times faster than it did yesterday, over 10,000 miles per hour. Today, the equator already travels at about 1,037 miles per hour. You never feel it because everything moves together. The spin creates an outward push called centrifugal force, the same force that flings a child off a fast merry-go-round. Right now, that push is tiny. It cancels about a third of 1% of gravity. You weigh 1 pound less at the equator. But centrifugal force grows with the square of speed. Spin 10 times faster, and the outward push becomes 100 times stronger. 100 times a third of a percent is roughly 35%. A third of gravity's grip on you, gone. You could jump higher than you ever have. Athletes would shatter every record. It would feel, briefly, like a miracle. But the lightness is a warning, because you are not the only thing that suddenly weighs less. So does the entire ocean. Water is held in place by gravity alone. Weaken gravity's grip at the equator, and every ocean on Earth starts to migrate. Scientists have run gentler versions of this. Spin Earth just 1 mile per hour faster, and equatorial seas rise a few inches within days. At 100 miles per hour faster, the equator starts to drown. The Amazon basin, northern Australia, and island nations go under. That flooding runs 30 to 65 feet deep, and that came from a 2-digit speed increase. We just multiplied the spin by 10s. At merely double speed, centrifugal force drags hundreds of feet of water toward the planet's waistline. At double speed, everything equatorial disappears except the highest peaks. Kilimanjaro becomes an island. The Andes summits become an archipelago. The water has to come from somewhere. It drains from the poles, where the spin is slower. The Arctic Ocean empties like a bathtub. At 10 times speed, the migration goes far beyond that. A permanent equatorial mega-ocean wrapped around a bulging planet. Earth is already 20 kilometers wider at the equator than pole to pole. Now the bulge grows, and the crust groans under it. Geophysicist Duncan Agnew warns that faster spin stresses the crust, bringing more frequent, more intense earthquakes. And above the waves, the sky is breaking too. Earth's spin curves every wind on the planet. It is called the Coriolis effect, and it is the reason hurricanes rotate. NASA astronomer Sten Odenwald puts it simply: spin the planet faster, winds deflect harder, and storm rotation becomes more severe. Hurricanes on the fast Earth spin up tighter and meaner. The storm belts become permanent features, like the bands of Jupiter. At the flooded equator, the lightened air grows heavy with moisture. Dense fog, low cloud, rain that almost never stops. And through all of it, the sun strobes. 72 minutes of light, 72 minutes of dark, 12 sunrises in one old day. Your body runs on a 24-hour clock. Every plant, every animal evolved around it. That clock is now meaningless. Crops that time their flowering by day length fail. Migrating birds that navigate by the sun scatter. Sleep becomes a negotiation. Humans would live indoors on artificial time, under artificial light, the sun demoted to a flickering background. But here's the strange part. The machines we would depend on are the most fragile things of all, because modern civilization does not actually run on sunlight. It runs on something far more delicate, the milliseconds. Since 1955, humanity has kept time with atomic clocks, counting over 9 billion oscillations of a cesium atom every second. GPS satellites, financial markets, power grids, the internet, all of them synchronized to that atomic heartbeat, millisecond by millisecond. GPS time already runs exactly 18 seconds ahead of civil time, a bookkeeping quirk that engineers must constantly correct for. When Earth's rotation drifts even 1 second from atomic time, timekeepers intervene. They have added 27 leap seconds since 1972. Each one caused trouble. Servers crashed. Google now smears the extra second across an entire day so its systems never notice. Engineers at Meta warn that subtracting a second, something never once done, could have a devastating effect on software worldwide. That is, the chaos caused by 1 second. Our scenario knocks roughly 21 and a half hours off the day. Every satellite now orbits a planet whose surface races beneath it at the wrong speed. Every GPS fix lands miles off target. Navigation, aviation, shipping, the stock exchange's timestamps, the invisible clockwork of civilization, all desynchronized within the first rotations. It sounds like pure fiction, except for one uncomfortable fact. Earth's spin is actually speeding up right now. Since around 2016, Earth has been spinning faster than at any point in the atomic clock era. In 2020 alone, the planet logged the 28 shortest days ever measured since 1960s. On July 9th, 2025, Earth completed its spin about 1.5 milliseconds early, the shortest day in modern records. Milliseconds sound trivial, but timekeepers now say there is roughly a 40% chance we must delete a second by 2035, a negative leap second, never attempted in history. The event metas engineers compare to a global software failure. This October, the world's measurement authorities vote on scrapping leap seconds entirely, replacing them with a rare leap hour. Why is the planet accelerating? Part of the answer hides 4,000 miles down. Earth's core has been slowing for 50 years. To conserve momentum, the solid Earth above spins slightly faster in exchange. As geophysicist Agnew admits, we do not know why. Stranger still, climate change is acting as a brake. Melting polar ice spreads mass outward, slowing the spin like a skater, extending her arms. Without that melting ice, the deleted second would already be nearly upon us. Our warming planet bought the clock's 3 years. Earth's spin has never been fixed. When dinosaurs looked up, the year held 372 days, each 23.5 hours long. We know because ancient mollusk shells recorded daily growth rings, like tree rings written in tide and sunlight. Since the dinosaurs died, the day has stretched by half an hour. Even Roman days ran 40 milliseconds shorter than ours. The moon is the brake. Its tides drag on the oceans, slowing the spin by about 2 milliseconds every century. So the true direction of travel is slower, not faster. Today's acceleration is a flutter inside a 4 billion year deceleration. But physics does define a ceiling. Odenwald calculated it. 17,641 miles per hour at the equator. At that speed, centrifugal force exactly cancels gravities. Stand on the equator and you weigh nothing. Loose objects simply drift. Push past that ceiling and the planet itself fails. The equator bulges outward, the poles flatten, the crust tears open and quakes. Our 10 times world sits near 60% of that limit, close enough to feel the planet straining against its own physics. Every quiet day is a truce between gravity and spin, and the terms are still changing. Next time, what if the moon left?